Greetings again, everybody. Welcome back to Dark Souls 2. Today we find ourselves in the Lost Bastille, which we're actually gonna explore this time around. And depending on how you go at it, it can either be a really short area or a reasonably long one. And today we're gonna see most of it. It has a lot of hidden nooks and crannies and side areas we don't even need to go through to actually reach the boss. But we're gonna see most of it regardless. And hey, look at this, a Hate Knight. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. And opposed to the last one who used a sword, this one uses a spear. And at this point they're fairly easy. I mean, they weren't hard before, but we can take them out really quickly now thanks to Lightning Spear and our upgraded mace. And it's probably a good idea to kill that guy from up here. I mean, we could go down first, but he will drop down on us and we'd have to deal with him and the other enemies down there. The other enemies being, well, we're gonna see. Well, actually, we've already met them. They're dogs. And dogs can be pretty annoying. In this game, however, I found them to be rather easy. They can be a little tricky if they swarm you, but if they don't, you can just wait for them to attack, then dodge or block, and you're good. Speaking of blocking, by the way, we're using the Drangleic shield now. Had to upgrade my strength for that, but now we have 100% physical block, and we're not gonna go in there yet. There's actually no way for us to proceed in there, at least not right now. And this is the one platform that you need to smash down if you want, well, an alluring skull. If you throw an alluring skull at an enemy, they will actually be swarmed by surrounding enemies, which can be pretty useful at times. Ah, another Estus Flask shard. And a large Titanite shard. I would say that the large Titanite shard is a really nice find. But then again, we'll have access to an infinite amount of them rather soon. We'll have to pay for them, of course. Nothing comes free. But at least we won't have to go through areas and look through corpses to actually find one. Or chests, like in this case. And as you may know, we can actually enter this area from 2 points, and this is where both points kind of come together. This gate. If you come from the other end, you wouldn't be able to open that gate though. But look at that crack in the wall and that door we can't open. Maybe there is a way to get in there regardless. To open that door we need a key that is called the Bastille key, and there's no way for us to get it right now. And that guy ruined everything. I think it's actually easier to just run up and kill him, so he won't roll down the barrel. Because if he rolls down the barrel, he will always, and I mean always, roll it just that exact same way that it just bashes against the wall. So let's just come in from the other side, right here, where the pursuer used to be. Alright, the other entrance of the Lost Bastille actually also has a bonfire right at the beginning of it. And in New Game Plus this time around we are using a great shield called the Rebel's Great Shield and a huge axe. It's a great axe called the Drake Keeper's Great Axe. It is probably one of the strongest as far as I can tell. At least it has the best scaling. And yep, drop down that barrel and you have a whole room full of explosion. It didn't manage to actually kill everyone in it though. but good enough. Made the job easier for us. Well, the one drawback of the axe is that it's not really a weapon that requires a lot of precision, but it has overhead swings, which requires some precision, and this enemy is new to New Game Plus, by the way. And heavy weapons such as the Great Axe actually have a unique property. They actually allow you to manually adjust the direction of your swing mid-swing. This can become a problem if you're not used to it, like I am not used to it. It can sometimes cause you to actually just not hit an opponent because you accidentally readjust your swings to actually hit the ground. And that's bad. Oh yeah, and that guy was also new to New Game Plus. Both of the enemies in this room are. This room is completely empty save for the chest in New Game. But it has something rather important in it. The antiquated key. It's gonna be pretty useful for you if you have trouble with a boss in this area, because it allows you to skip it. And you're gonna appreciate the coveted Silver Serpent Ring if you haven't already got the coveted Silver Serpent Ring +1 from Melentia for buying some stuff from her. But at this point you really should have it. And generally it's a pretty good idea to equip it because you'll get more souls more quickly and everything in this game runs on souls. And behind that door, we will actually meet an old friend. I mean, look at that! Lucatiel's waiting for us.
Still on the road, are you? Sorry to have burdened you so. This is for you, by way of an apology. I found my thoughts growing hazy. My memories are fading. Oldest first. The curse is doing its work upon me. I am frightened. Terribly so. If everything should fade, what will be left of me? I had an older brother. We learned to fence together. He became the most decorated swordsman in all of Mirror. I never even compared to him. In fact, I never beat him, not once. But then, one day, he was gone, lost without a trace. Now I'm certain that he was taken by the curse. If only someone would hear my tale. My brother must have come here, too. Soon I may forget even about him.
So last time, we were not able to summon Lucatiel for the boss fight, because her summon sign, plain and simple, did not appear. And I'm gonna hope that it appears the other 2 times that we can still find it before boss fights, because we need to summon her a total of 3 times to complete her quest line, and we already summoned her once, so we still have a chance to actually finish her quest. Which will give us her armor, which is really nice looking. At least I think so, of course. And now we're actually already almost back to that part where that asshole, that one, yes, that one, kicked down the barrel the wrong way. So now let's show his corpse how it's done. It's really hard to fuck up actually. Even if it doesn't explode, which sometimes happens, you can just roll it to the wall manually and then just attack the wall, or rather I mean the barrel, in order to make it explode. And look at that, a bonfire already. To be fair though, this is optional and it's a very useful bonfire because, well, there's a useful NPC in here.
Oh, why can't they all be this easy? We've got a wild one here. Shape up. Shape up, I say. Oh, that's it, yes. That's the way. Dear flame, how brightly you burn. Flame, I smell flame upon you. I'm Macduff the blacksmith. All I want is a little flame. So, hand that ember to me. Right now, you imbecile. What? Oh, do it yourself then.
Don't worry, I'm gonna give it to him. I'd be stupid not to. But first I want him to go someplace else. I hear he likes flames, so let's put one here. And then rest at the bonfire. So now he's sitting here instead of on that iron chest, which we could not open with his ass on it. And we can actually also open all the other chests, which we could have done before, but we didn't. They have nice things in them, but nothing really essential. Even the large Titanite chart we could find is actually something that we will be able to buy from him in infinite amounts. But twinkling Titanite is always nice.
Flynn. So. What a marvelous ember. You've got stones, I pray. Give me stones, and I'll fortify your gear.
And now, finally, we're able to infuse our weapons and shields with various properties. Catalysts, in general, benefit from it the most, I think. If you use miracles with a sacred chime, just infuse it with lightning, it'll just be flat out better, because miracles are affected by lightning. If you use hexes, infused with dark instead, always. No exceptions. And he also sells some stuff, of course, but the most important thing, as I already told you, is actually infinite large Titanite shards. Which means that we can now infuse everything to +6 if we like, as long as we just, you know, have the souls to buy them. And let's actually do that. Let's upgrade both our Sacred Chime, which we can still upgrade with regular Titanite and the upgrade will remain, and also our mace. We even have Titanite chunks, a few of them, so we can go +7.
Flame, dear flame. I give you my all, and you waver and falter. From the start of time, flame allowed man to flourish. And even now, he devises new fiery arts. But his reason makes him doubt flame. And so, we waver and falter. The power of flame, power of the gods. In the end, it is all beyond our reach. And so, flame allures us, and we attempt to harness its power. Flame, dear flame. Flame, dear flame. I give you my... Flame. Dear flame.
Macduff here, that's his name, just now alluded to the divinity of fire, or rather the flame being the source of divine power, which means that he has a higher understanding of the first flame than Lycia and stupid death. Alright, but anyway, he has a higher understanding of the First Flame as Licia, who claims to worship it. Oh, but yeah, let's do this a little better this time around. Once you get better at this game, the exceeding majority of your deaths will be stupid, like that one. And over there is actually the way onwards, even though it looks like it's out of the way. But we can also go here. This isn't going to actually lead to progress, just one single item. But we get what we can get. Even if it's just a free large Titanite shard, which we can now buy in infinite supplies. And I can't stress enough just how useful that actually is. And this actually looks a little bit like an out of the way area, because the way to it isn't really obvious, but yeah, it's progress. And this is a really hard spot, if you don't know how to do it, because as soon as you step in there, you will see those guys approaching. Right now it's only 3, but I've actually also seen 4 come out here, but that may be New Game Plus. These enemies themselves look kind of small and a little bit on the fragile side, but they do hit pretty hard, because they actually do use pretty big weapons. And by the way, that helmet they're using, the swordsman's helm, they're called swordsmen by the way, actually is the helm that we use in New Game Plus this time around. And you don't ever have to go in here. Like, there's nothing, virtually nothing that you need in there. Unless you want to fight those 2 enemies. I'm gonna say it right now, there's a gate inside that room, which someone could interpret as a shortcut, but it actually complicates things, because if you want to do a boss run, you will actually have to fight more enemies, because see those 2 guys in there? Yep, you will have to fight them if you go through here. And instead of fighting the 2 that we just fought, there will be 4. Which will make things really complicated. Instead, you can just run down there and, well, not open this door. It's the most useless door in the game. It leads to a death pit, nothing more. Instead, you'll just run to that ladder, which will allow you to completely circumvent those 4 enemies. And if you run quick enough, you will also not have to fight the other 3 or 5. Look, there they are, just not noticing us. Isn't that great? And in one of these cells we can find a summon sign for Pilgrim Belclair, which we're not gonna summon, but she is very useful for the upcoming boss fight. She uses magic, allowing you to tank enemies while she actually does the damage. Oh, looky there. 3 whole health bars. But don't be fooled by their names or the fact that they have unique names, because all 3 Ruin Sentinels are exactly the same. And even though there's 3, right now we're only fighting 1. As long as you manage to stay up on this platform, you will also only have to deal with that one. Until, of course, you kill it. In that case, the other 2 will also come up here, making the fight incredibly difficult, so it's best to drop down. And you'll have a brief time to actually attack the single one that's down there already, but after a very short while, the other one will jump down. In fact, it already has at this point. And it threw its freaking shield at us. This is both good and bad. The bad news is it actually hit us and did some damage. On the other hand, well, it can't block anymore. Make it much easier to take out that one. And the spin attack is probably the most difficult to dodge. It's best to just get away, because if you try to dodge through it, you might actually dodge one of the swings, but the next round will probably get you. The main strategy for this fight is to basically make them both attack at the same time, so you can get in a quick hit or two. And the biggest danger comes from the fact that it's pretty difficult to find a good time to heal. This is also what killed me. You might have noticed that I need to pick up my bloodstain. If you try to get in a hit at the wrong moment, the other one just might come in and hit you and kill you. And if you heal at the wrong moment, the same thing will happen. Right now, one hit is already deadly pretty much, as long as we screw up healing afterwards. Because we will probably die if that's the case. Other than that, they're not too difficult on their own. What makes this fight a challenge is only the fact that there's more of them. And if we had to fight all three of them at once, I reckon it'd actually be really difficult, but also not fun, which is why I'm not doing it. This fight already isn't that fun if you have to fight two of them at the same time, mostly because it boils down to make them attack at the same time to find a good opening, or rather kite them in general to find a good opening. Sometimes you'll just find one of them standing behind, which will allow you to actually hit. And then again, if you're unlucky, they might do that jump attack and hit you as well. And now the other one threw its shield as well. We blocked it, but it staggered us because it drained our entire stamina plus some. But now we don't have to worry about our time to attack anymore, at least not as much. Of course we have to worry about it, seeing as there's still two of them and they both hit hard enough to make us worry about our health. On the plus side, of course, they also do take a lot of damage. It's rather easy to take out one of them, because they take a lot of damage, or rather they don't have that much HP. But I also think that we should have fought them a little bit earlier in the game. Part of the relative ease of this fight came from the fact that we actually did upgrade our mace to +7, and our sacred chime as well. And oh hey, hidden door in the boss room. I have never tried, so I actually don't know if you can open this during the boss fight, but I don't see why not. But I don't really think that there's much of a reason to do so. In fact, scratch that. I don't think you can do it because you'd just be able to camp in here. And maybe even cheese them. However, as soon as you'd go out here, they would jump up and probably murder you, because this is a pretty small platform. And oh wow, another hidden door. That's nice. And yes, there's still more hidden doors in this room. 2 more in fact, but one of them doesn't really have anything in them. The other one has though. I have no idea why they included so many hidden doors here. The first time when I played, I didn't even know that you could open those, because I was still in Dark Souls mode where you had to actually attack the walls to open up. And I didn't actually catch on to the fact that you have to press the interact button until, let's just say, very late into the game. Oh, look at that nice person. I'm sure nothing bad. Yeah, okay. It's easy to avoid. If you just walk by or wait for a second, it'll explode on its own. And if you attack it, it dies in 1 hit. And that's it for Hiltrud's New Game Journey through the Lost Bastille. We'll be seeing some more New Game Plus in a separate video. For now though, boss weapon. And by boss weapon I actually mean another sorcery. Heavy homing soul arrow. Its description only mentions that it has been devised by Strayed. It makes no mention of the ruined sentinels whatsoever. It's almost as though they only included that spell as a reward for killing the boss, because they didn't have anything to actually give you for the souls from the other ruined sentinels. But yeah, this spell, much like the name implies, homes in on enemies. If you use it on them, it does fairly low damage though. Pretty much every other non-homing spell does more damage. But yeah, the ruined sentinels could have given us their shields or spears. Instead they gave us the sorcery, which has nothing to do with it, even according to the description. I mean, just look now how much more damage Soul Spear does. Yeah. It's almost twice as much. Little less. But yes, if you want to know how to skip the Rune Sentinels, watch the separate video. It'll feature our New Game Plus hero making it through the area a different way.